the blessings of the true God and remain on the path of destruction that will bring their numbers or cause their numbers to be few in this land. And that makes the powers to be happy. That makes the power holders in this nation, it makes them happy. You shall be left few in number, whereas you were as the stars of heaven for a multitude. That's those that believed in God. More black people believed in God once upon a time than any other group of people in the world. More black people believed in God than the Jews. That's when they were called Negroes. But don't call me no Negro no more. They were people that believed in God. I'm African-American. I'm my own God. My own God and can't do nothing. Can't make nothing happen. Can't make nothing happen. You your own God and can't make nothing. You your own God. Why you got a nickel in you got 4 cents in your pocket. Your family got 4 cents in your pocket while the white man got $1. You your own God. Why are you going through all this misery? Help him, Oprah. You your own God. Why you broke? You your own God. Why you got to have a handout? Why you waiting on that EBT card? You your own God. Why aren't you fixing things for yourself? Why are you around walking in misery? Help him, Oprah. You your own God. Why don't you make thunder and lightning and wind and rain? Why don't you blow away all of your misery? Why don't you blow away all of your enemies? Why don't you blow away all of the things of discomfort? Why aren't you eating caviar instead of ramen noodles? Lord help me. And you shall be left few in number, whereas you were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord our God. You're going down in numbers because you will not obey the voice of the Lord our God. It ain't cultural no more. It ain't in keeping of social strata no more. You overlook and you ignore the voice of God. And that's why you're few in number and going to be fewer. Your daughters, your granddaughters, and your great-granddaughters, how beautiful they must be and how beautiful they are, will be left to another people. They will be left to another people to bring children. They will be left for another people to establish homes and families. Because God is going to make you few in number because of your sin and because of your transgression and because you would not obey the voice of the Lord our God. And in closing, it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. Just like when you prayed up to God, when your daddies and your granddaddies and your great-granddaddies and your great-great-granddaddies and your great-great-great-granddaddies and mamas prayed up to God to be delivered from bondage, to be delivered from slavery, to be delivered from a life of misery. It did God good to deliver you. God was happy to deliver you. And God did deliver you. I don't have to make a case on that. I don't have to go to court and argue my point. I don't have to get before a grand jury and make my point. God delivered you. And nobody in the world can say he didn't. He brought you to a place of continuing delivery. And while you were at that place in continuing delivery, you turned your back on God. And when you turned your back on God, it'll do God good to destroy you. Just as it did him good when he delivered you, it'll do God good when he destroys you. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you, to do you good, and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and bring you to naught. And you shall be plucked from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it. You're never going to get to the mountaintop, my friend. You're never, ever going to see the promised land. You're never, ever going to see what God intended this great country to be for you and for your children. You're never going to see it, my friend. Your only hope is to return to God. Your only hope is to go back to singing Amazing Grace. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Your only hope is to teach your children to sing Amazing Grace. How sweet the sound that saved the little boys and all the little girls like me. We all once were lost with nowhere to go. But now we're found when we return to God. Return to God, my brother, and God will use you. He'll bring his blessings back to you. And he will deliver you from the hurt and the pain that you and your family and all that you know are going through. God bless you, my friend. Until next week, for the final part of Black on Black Pity in this Dred Scott Lives racial divide in America. You be blessed. You be kept by the powers of God.
it all.